What's up, guys? Quick video, Sunday morning, a little bit later than expected, but still wanted to put this out there. I do have some updates, some picks that I am going to be taking this morning. I said in the last video, and I'll say it again here, I have been having more success doing the exact opposite of what has been ingrained into my brain over the last 3 to 5 years with sharp bettors and things like that. I don't know if they're coming to the same conclusions or what, but it seems like a lot of these books are they are aware of what the sharp guys are doing, and in order to maybe go against that a little bit or maybe change it up and see what they can do this year different from other years, they've made some different numbers. They've really stuck to some key numbers and some key timing rules that they had not been doing before. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. If you missed the first video, please go back and watch that one. There is really just all the picks are going to be listed in the comments of that video. But more importantly, the picks for this one are going to only be teasers. So it's going to be 3 teaser picks. Throughout the week, I heard a couple things, different angles, different spots that I like. Watched a couple films, videos, all that kind of stuff. They just kind of led me onto some picks. But the 2 times that you want to pick a teaser are, one, when you think that you need to get through a particular key number, and 2, when you think that the numbers are so spot on accurate that a teaser becomes of immense value because you can really move that number, not just slightly, but pretty far off of that number that you find to be accurate. So Sunday mornings, when the numbers are going to be as accurate as they possibly can get, the best time to get a teaser. So let's talk about which teasers we're taking. The first one here, and I had already mentioned this before, but it's going to be the Bills. When I talked about it before, it was at 9 or 9.5, depending on what book you looked at. It's currently at 10. I'm going to tease the Bills down to 3 at home against the Jets. And I'm going to pair that with the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals, they are currently 1.5 point dogs with the 7 points. That's going to get you up to 8.5. So you'll get through the 3, the 6, the 7, and even the 8 for what it's worth. So Cardinals up to 8.5. That's the Monday night game with the Bills down to 3. That's a 7-point teaser. Now, another 7-point teaser is going to be on totals. Now, this is something that I typically didn't do in the past. Most people, as far as quote-unquote sharp guys, are just going to tell you, there's not really a lot of value in totals because the numbers aren't as key. This year has proven to make that just a little off. And I don't want to say it's going to last forever, but at least this year in particular, because the scoring has been down in the league overall and the red zone offenses have been just not really that great overall in the entire league. It's not just like a team here or there. The reduction in points makes the numbers that were key that much more important and that much more value behind them because you're not getting these crazy shootout games where it's just arbitrary numbers. A couple years back, I think it was either the COVID year or the year before the COVID year, you had this high scoring almost every single game, and so it'd be like 55, 54, 51, 53, 65, 62, just numbers kind of scattershot all over the place with the lower scoring, and it's obviously, mainly touchdowns and field goals, not a lot of safeties and, missed extra points or whatever. You have a lot more predictability in that it's going to be a 7 or a 3 or a factor of that 7 and 3. The numbers that have come up a lot so far this year are 43 and 44. There is another key number. It's not as key, but 41 and 37 have proven to be key numbers when it comes to totals as well, specifically for lower scoring games. And if you look at the totals that are out there, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you'll see that Vegas knows this as well. Look at the low scoring games, or what we expect to be low scoring games, and they're almost always going to post a total that is hovering around 37 or 41, depending on what you're looking at. Maybe 40, but it's typically 41. 37 and 41, remember that. And the other number, like I said, is 43 and 44, and those are for more of your quote-unquote regular score games. That's going to be like a 24-20 kind of game, something around there. So those are the numbers you want to stick with. Now, the benefit of knowing this is that if a number is in there somewhere, from 37 to 44 is exactly 7 points away. So teasers on the totals have become very valuable to me, at least this year, because you can get through several key numbers with one tease. You don't need to go on like a 10 or 13 point teaser. Some of those are out there, but for the ones I'm going to tease today, one of them is going to have a very key number. The other one, not so much. 47 is a lesser key number. It comes up like 2 to 3% of the time. But in totals, that's still kind of a bigger number. 51 is a key number for high scoring games, 51 and 54. But again, those are only showing up about 2% of the time. So the first one, again, is the key number. That's going to be the Steelers-Baltimore game. We're going to tease that up from 37 to 44, and we're going to take the under. So the under 44 on the Steelers-Baltimore game. The other game is going to be the Vikings and the Lions, and we're going to get the over on that one. It's currently sitting at 52. The teaser is going to bring it down to 45. What that's going to do is it's going to get us to 51 and the 47. Now, on the Minnesota game, we have Minnesota, who's playing a lot of man defense right now, which is something that Goff has done extremely well against. We have a fully loaded Lions offense here that's been on a roll lately. A Vikings defense who really can't stop any damn thing. A Lions team who doesn't mind running the ball and can do it effectively now that DeAndre Swift is getting kind of healthy. An offensive line with the Lions that is really, really damn stout against a very light in the pants kind of defense with the Vikings. So the Lions should be able to have their way with this one. It's up to you. I think another good play would be the Lions team total over 27. Got it at 26.5 earlier in the week. I believe it's now at 27 or 27.5, depending on what book you're looking at. But again, for the teaser portion of this, it's going to be under on the Baltimore Steelers game on 44, over 45 for the Lions and the Vikings. Now, the Baltimore Steelers and the Steelers game, I'm not really going into depth on that one. You probably already can kind of guess why. It should be a lower scoring game. Two strong defenses, two quarterbacks. One's a rookie, one's a backup. Not a whole lot else to talk about there. Should be a lower scoring game. Last one here. This is a teaser, and this is going to be a same game teaser. And a lot of times I like to do these same game teasers because I'm building kind of a story in my head for how I think a certain game is going to go. This is the same reason I like to do same game parlays. They're very much correlated, and it does have a better hit ratio when you can kind of correlate something, build a story around it, and then have that story, play out the way that you're expecting. For me, that's going to be the Eagles this week. It's going to be the Eagles down to a -1. So they're at -7 right now against the Giants. Bring that down to a -1. And then we're going to also take the under. Right now, it is currently at 44. We're going to take that up to 50. So it's going to be, you're crossing obviously the 44 because it's currently, you're only getting half, quote unquote, of the 44. And you get the 44, the 47, and you're going to get up to the 50. Now, Saquon being a little dinged up does present an issue for New York, especially since most of their offense has run through him. I do think they're going to be passing the ball a little bit more, but I also think that passing the ball is kind of playing into the strength of the Eagles. Really, the Eagles struggle more when they're trying to stop the run or when you are, as an offense, are having success running the ball. So if you play into their hands and you're just going to pass it, they're going to have a secondary that's going to make you either make some turnovers, make some mistakes, or make you go really slow down the field because you're going to have to take, 3 to 5 yard shots at a time. I think all of those things play into a lower scoring game. Secondly, though, I could see some takeaways, some failed fourth down conversions, some missed field goals, some, just fourth downs that don't work out because they're trying to go for a touchdown and they end up just not converting. All these sorts of ways that this can be a lower scoring game. It is also the first matchup in a divisional game, which if you've been listening to me all year, that's a big key for me. That first divisional matchup is kind of a feel out process, at least for the first half. And then typically it ends up being a lower scoring game because they're just kind of making some tweaks here and there to see where they can really take advantage. And then the second time around, we usually see a higher scoring game, especially in the NFC East. There's not a whole lot of firepower as far as explosive offenses other than the Cowboys. And the Eagles can be if you make them, but I don't think the Giants are going to get them from them today. So those are the 3 teasers. Thank you for listening. Good luck today, guys. And everybody have a great day and go make some damn money.